All right, everybody, it's tax season again, and I know nobody really loves this time of year, but what if I told you there's a way to potentially get thousands of dollars back?
Thousands.
Thousands. We're going deep on the child tax credit for 2024, and get this. Our source material today is actually from a Chinese publication.
Interesting.
Yeah, it is. So let's break this down. What exactly is this child tax credit, and why should our listeners be paying attention?
Well, in a nutshell, it's designed to help families with the cost of raising kids. For 2024, the maximum credit is $2,000
Okay.
per eligible child under 17. But here's the real kicker.
What's that?
It's refundable.
Refundable.
Yeah.
So even if you don't owe taxes, you can get money back.
You got it. Up to $1,700 per child. It's basically a direct cash infusion for families, no matter their tax situation.
That's a pretty amazing deal.
Yeah.
But there's got to be some fine print, right? Who can actually claim this?
Of course, there are some rules. First, you need to be the parent or guardian who's filing taxes for 2025.
Makes sense.
And the child has to have a valid Social Security number and be under 17 at the end of the tax year.
So no claiming my college kid, even if they're still at home and I'm paying tuition.
Unfortunately, no. There's a hard stop at age 17.
Gotcha.
But let's dive into some of the specifics about who qualifies as a child, because there are some interesting details here.
Yeah, because most people probably assume this is just for biological children, right?
Right, that's a common misunderstanding. But this credit is meant to help all kinds of families. So stepchildren, foster children, even siblings, or their descendants. If you meet the requirements to claim them as dependents, they count.
So it's a pretty broad definition. What about residency? Do they have to be living with you full-time?
Well, they need to live with you for more than half the year.
More than half.
Yeah, but short visits, like for summer camp or a trip to see grandparents, won't disqualify them.
Makes sense.
And another important point. The child can't file a joint return
Unless
it's to claim a refund of withheld income tax or earned income credit.
Okay, so basically they have to be considered your dependent for tax purposes. Now, what our listeners are probably wondering is if there's an income limit to qualify for this credit.
Yes, there is. The full credit is available for single filers making under $200,000 and for married couples filing jointly making under $400,000.
You said full credit. So does that mean the amount changes if you make more?
Exactly. The credit starts to phase out, meaning it decreases gradually as your income goes above those amounts. It's designed to be more targeted towards those families who need it most.
I see. And there's something in our notes here about an extra credit exclusion. What's that all about?
Oh, right. That's an important one. If you're excluding foreign income using Forms 2555 or 2555EZ, you won't be eligible for the refundable part of the credit.
So that's something to keep in mind if you have income from outside the U.S.
Yeah.
All this talk about money back is great, but how do you actually claim the credit when you're doing your taxes?
It's actually pretty straightforward. You list all your qualifying children on your Form 1040.
The standard one.
Yeah, the one most people use. Then you also got to fill out Schedule 88812,
Okay.
which is specifically for this credit. That form helps you figure out exactly how much you can get.
2 forms to remember. But the big question is, why should people care?
Yeah.
It's just another tax credit, right?
Well, not really. This credit can really make a difference for families.
How so?
Think about what an extra $1,700 per kid could do. Childcare costs healthy food. Maybe even just some breathing room in the budget.
Yeah, it's about more than just the money. It's about giving families some relief.
Exactly. Especially those who are struggling. And it goes even beyond individual families. This credit can actually impact the whole economy.
In what way?
Well, more money in families' pockets means more spending, which is good for local businesses, creates a positive ripple effect.
So it's really a much bigger deal than just a line on a tax form. It's about supporting families and helping the economy.
Exactly.
It really is fascinating. Makes you think. Should these types of policies be expanded or changed even more? Something to consider while you're working on your taxes.
Definitely. It raises important questions about how we can better support families and create a fairer society.
And remember, everyone, this is just the starting point.
Right.
We encourage you to do your own research using official English language sources. And of course, talk to a tax professional to make sure you're getting everything you're entitled to.
Tax laws can be tricky. It's always best to get personalized advice to maximize your benefits.
All right, everyone, thanks for joining us for this deep dive on the child tax credit. We'll see you next time.
See you then.